You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? All right, let's get to the next one. Mr. Clary, question one. 12 years ago, I jointly bought a house with my mom, dad, and myself for us to live in. Mom has passed, and in reviewing the homeowner's insurance, I suspect we're grossly overinsured. I'm reluctant to go to an advisor for fear I am just talking to a salesman pretending to be a disinterested party. My question is, do you know how I can learn if my house insurance is in proportion to need and covers realistic scenarios, riot, earthquake, flooding, etc.? An unbiased website would be welcome, but I'd be willing to go to a company that reviews these accounts if I could feel comfortable that the advice was disinterested. Well, okay, here's a real quick way to figure it out. All right, you go and figure out what your home's value is on Zillow. Now, Zillow is not terribly accurate, but it's accurate enough because the number one asset you have in your home is the home itself. So go find out what the modern day value of your home is, and then go figure out how much you got for insurance coverage. Like, so your home is worth $400,000. If it gets burnt down, do you get $400,000? That's it. There you go. And so that's a real quick and dirty way to do it. Now, then there's other stuff like what are the assets in the home? And your insurance agent should do this, where you go through all the stuff in your home that's of value. Like, okay, I have a computer, I have a television, meaning you have to do the work. And so you go to Zillow, you find out, okay, the home is worth $400,000. Then you go through your home and you just inventory everything that's there and what its rough market value is. And then you have like, say, 25 grand worth of furniture and guns and electronics and whatever else. Your vehicles included and all that. And that's really the best way to figure out how much insurance you need. And then you go to your insurance agent, and I've done this with my insurance agent. I'm like, oh, hey, I bought some guns, or I got some silver, or I really actually don't have a lot of stuff that needed insurance. Like, I got my Star Wars arcade game, maybe some art, and it's good and healthy. Like, you inventory, you take pictures, you give them serial numbers as proof of ownership, and then they'll adjust it. I don't know. I've never not trusted my insurance guy. Then again, I've never really had a claim, but you do it yourself. Measure what is the value of the stuff you own. That's pretty easy to ascertain. Go and look at your insurance policy. Does it cover it? And then go to your insurance guy, say, are all the items within the house covered? And then look through the policy. Does it cover fire? Does it cover flood? Does it cover theft? What's the deductible? Things like that. So that's how I would audit your homeowner's insurance. And so then you're no longer going to a company or some kind of third party to audit it, which will cost you money. You can easily do that yourself. Question 2, property taxes, city and county, are being handled by my father, and the yearly bill for both come to about $3,500. Right now, he's coughing up this as a lump sum and paying on the due date. I reimburse my share to him at that time. I'm insisting that money be put aside each month as his pension checks come in, so as not to create a cash crunch each February. My question is there an institution or type of account that will allow us to park this? God, why do you look for outside sources to solve your own easy internal problems? Set the money aside. Do you have a checking account? Do you not have control over your personal finances? Dad, give me, what is 35, 36? That's $300. Dad, give me $300 a month. If you don't, because your dad obviously can't do it. And then you can't. Dad, give me $300 a month. You put it in the account, and or your dad's part would be $150 a month. I'm sorry, because you got to cough up half. So your dad gives you $150 a month. You put it in your account. I'm going to assume you're an adult. I'm going to assume you're not a suburbanite princess who graduated with her master's degree and daddy finally cut her off. You're like, Orman Gerd, I got to spend more than I make. I'm going to assume you have fiscal discipline. And then there's the 150, there's your, what is that, $1,800 after 12 months. You just pull it from your, why would you pay a bank? Why would you waste the time setting up essentially what's called an escrow account to do that? Just have your dad, and then you can pay it whenever. Me, I pay my property taxes full shot right up front at the beginning of the year, or whenever I get my bill. Different people do it differently. I mean, what you're asking is like when you go buy some small thing on Amazon, and they actually have payment plans for things that are under $100. Ooh, you see, you're buying a new digital camera, but with a payment plan. Even when I bought a Rhinestones sweater, there was a payment plan. Redbubble has you give a payment plan for $60 sweater. Aaron, why'd you buy $60 a sweater for Ryan? This and that? That's not minimalist. I was paid to buy it, not by Ryan. A fan of his wanted me to. It's weird, but I'm like, really? There's a payment plan for a sweater. I'm shocked there's payment plans for cell phones, but you poor people, they got to fake being rich because you're so pathetic. It's like, I got the Apple 1287 GX 12B 7-5. I'm so cool. Living in Fridley. This is the same thing, man. Have your dad cut you a check $150 a month, put it in your checking account. Then you could pay the property taxes whenever you want. You don't have to worry about it, and the money's in your boom, it's done. You're not going to waste your time or money because they're going to charge you some token fee. And to be perfectly honest, no, I don't know any finance companies like, we're going to set up an escrow account for $3,500. Yeah, okay, the fees for that is going to be $200, and you're already losing money. Reimbursement. I'm insisting money be put aside. My question here is there an institution type account that allows to park this money built up monthly additions and then withdraw it once a year to meet the tax bill? Yes, it's called your checking account, specifically one that pays. No. Don't come up to me like, I'm making $3,500. I wanna make interest on it. Okay, make that is. Maybe you could throw in a money market account. Now you are incurring trading costs. Dude, it's an expense. You're not going to eke out your 0.5% interest savings, putting in some kind of escrow account. Just pay cash. Be done with it. That's it. Specifically one that pays a worthwhile interest. No accounts, no 1-year account pays interest that is worthwhile. I'd be willing to seed the account with $3,000 so that when the February withdrawal for $3,500 happens, this will prevent the account to dropping back to zero. If no such account exists anymore, I will simply put the cash in an envelope and say, okay, you can do it that way. I think just have your dad pay $150 a month, and you're now responsible for paying it. There you go. Yeah, don't bother wasting time with putting in an escrow in a bank. Just use your checking account. All right, any super chats? Forum, $5 Canadian. You'd be surprised how much your junk and appliances add up to. Basics only cover like an oven, fridge, and clothes after all said and done. Yeah, see, but when I look at it, it's like, oh, your clothes. Like, no, I'll just go to Goodwill, man. I don't want my clothes insured. I really don't have that much stuff. And thank God. I mean, when I gave my list, it didn't even cover a half a page of paper to my insurance guy. Like I'm looking around at this place, it's all clothes, but this ain't my place. Boom. Yeah, here you need to consider rise. You can add such as an earthquake, sewer backup. Oftentimes those perils are not included. Yeah, things like water damage. Absolutely. All right, there we go. See you guys later.